Andrew, your article about this, I think, was on point here. It sort of underscored the fact that the Democrats and the media cannot admit when Trump does even one thing right. Even if it's something that's good for the American people, they're not having it.
Yeah, well, this was an important one because they're having a very hard time making this economy look bad. It looks great. We've got a 4.1 GDP. Unemployment across the board is lower than it's been in decades, and they've been trying to find some way to spin this as bad news for Donald Trump. And the one place they kind of had him was on his trade negotiations, because he kept imposing tariffs. Tariffs would be imposed back on us. It was costing people money. They had to bail out some of the farmers. But Trump kept saying to people, I want no tariffs, but I have to bring people to the table. And he actually said in a speech, they're all coming to see us because they don't want these tariffs on us. The very next day, the European Union caved in and said, yes, we will now talk and try to negotiate to a point where we will have no tariffs. That's not victory for Trump, but it's a victory for Trump. And instead of admitting it, the New York Times, which was my favorite, they said, in a surprise move, Europe and Trump backed down from a trade war. Well, it wasn't a surprise to Donald Trump. He just made a speech telling us it was going to happen. Even worse was CNN, which ran a story that said why Trump caved, as if it was Trump who had somehow given in to the Europeans instead of the other way around. I mean, look, there's a lot of people on the right who are nervous about Trump's, trade dealings because we're all in favor of free trade, all in favor of low tariffs. But Trump's point is that we're already in a trade war with some of these people, certainly with the Chinese. And with the Europeans, the problem is after World War II, we're talking 1945, we made a lot of deals that were beneficial to the Europeans and to Japan because we wanted to bring them back. They'd been devastated. And what Trump is saying is, OK, time's up. It's now time for us to deal as equals with each other. Let's remove all these tariffs. So far, it seems to be working, and the press just cannot live with it.
No, it's so funny to watch, too, because President Trump, I think, uses this same negotiation tactic on almost all of his negotiations, whether it's within the Republican Party, the Democrats, whether it was Kim Jong-un, whether it was Putin, now with the European Union, or Trudeau up in Canada. He always does this same thing. He sort of presents this inflammatory comment. In this case, with the EU, he called them our foe. That brings them to the table because they're so worried about being ostracized from the American economy. It brings them to the table, and Trump gets what he wants. He tells us over and over and over exactly what he's doing. He actually does signal his negotiation tactics, and the mainstream media and the left, no matter how many times he beats them over the head with it, they don't get it.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.